Singapore is spoiled for choice when it comes to yogurt. But there seems to be a favourite. Greek yogurt. A tub of Greek yogurt can cost up to $28.90. That's 2 times the price of the most expensive regular yogurt. And yet, from 2020 to 2025, sales of Greek-labelled yogurt products grew by 166%. That's nearly twice the sales of regular yogurt. So in this episode of Talking Point, I want to find out if your Greek yogurt is really worth the splurge. I'm headed to meet Chef Anna, a pastry chef of 19 years who uses a secret ingredient in her pastries. Homemade Greek yogurt. Why does Greek yogurt cost more than regular yogurt?
Well, Greek yogurt is regular yogurt in its most concentrated form. What I'm doing right now is straining the regular yogurt, and it's going to concentrate the milk proteins in the solids. As it goes through this sieve,
I can
you
see
can
that.
see, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the liquid is coming out. That's whey. So whey is also a product that comes out of Greek yogurt. It has protein, but the most amount of protein is inside the strained yogurt, which is inside the sieve here. Greek yogurt costs more because you have to strain it to concentrate the yogurt, and it takes a lot of time. It's very laborious. And in the industrial context, if you start with 1 litre, you're only going to get 50% after you're done.
I assume that this concentrated form of yogurt is actually higher protein.
Yes, it is.
And it's better for me.
After it goes through the strainer, you have this very thick, beautiful yogurt which is full of protein. This concentrated yogurt is going to be higher in protein. So for the same amount of calories that you're eating, you're going to get higher protein.
So if the whey itself has protein, why do you remove it?
Simply because if you're trying to get the yogurt to be thicker for textural reasons, for nutrition, you have to remove some of the water to concentrate the yogurt, but the water is nutritious as well. This whey liquid is not thrown away, and you can either drink it directly or you can use it to make other things. You can make other products with it, such as pancakes. I've made tortillas with it.
So, the difference between regular yogurt and Greek yogurt is that Greek yogurt is strained, and because a lot of water is removed, the remaining yogurt is concentrated and therefore has higher protein content per spoonful. Okay, what's this?
There are 3 types of Greek yogurt right here. One of them is the homemade.
So, an intelligent guess will be this one. Being the most solidified one will be the homemade Greek yogurt. Next one. And this is Anna's homemade yogurt, I think. Oh. In terms of the texture, this one has a very different texture. It's almost like, how shall I put it? This is the creamiest, but surprisingly, in terms of the taste, is the least tangy and the least acidic of the lot. The fact that it tasted so creamy, I've never actually had yogurt that's this creamy before. Is that the reason why? Because it's homemade?
Not just because it's homemade, but because it spends longer just straining. This is store-bought Greek yogurt.
Oh, so the 2 tastes were the more similar ones.
You can say that.
But wait, this is the store-bought Greek yogurt. Why does it look like it's got liquid in it? Shouldn't it have been strained already?
It has been strained, but
Yeah.
because it's very natural, it's only milk and yogurt cultures, so you will have a little bit of the whey even after straining. They probably strained it already, but there's still a little of the whey liquid. So if it's a bit separated, this is natural, it's normal.
Okay, so then what is this yogurt?
That leaves us with Greek-style yogurt.
Greek yogurt and Greek-style yogurt. What's the difference between the two?
Okay, the Greek-style yogurt is made to look and taste texturally like the Greek yogurt. What do you mean by Greek-style? It's in the style of Greek yogurt, but they don't strain it. Instead, they add other ingredients to it so that it looks and tastes like Greek yogurt. One is thickened naturally by straining and one isn't.
Why do they do that? I mean, why not just sell me Greek yogurt?
Because by doing that, they don't have to spend time straining. So you spend less time in production and you get a product out faster. So manufacturing-wise, you basically use very little time to make the same thing.
Not many of us would have noticed this, that there is Greek yogurt and there is Greek-style yogurt.
Greek yogurt is thick because it is strained. Greek-style yogurt, on the other hand, is not strained, but may have added ingredients such as milk solids and emulsifiers to make it as thick as Greek yogurt. But the question is, do these added ingredients give it the same nutritional oomph as Greek yogurt?
I'm sending 10 samples of yogurt, 5 Greek, 5 Greek-style, from different brands available on the market to the lab to test for protein levels. And in the mix, I've included 2 samples of flavored Greek and Greek-style each. I want to know if there is a difference in protein level between Greek and Greek-style yogurt. It's been a week since I've sent 5 Greek and 5 Greek-style yogurt samples to the lab for protein testing.
So, Prof, what have you got for us?
Well, Dana, we have got the top-line results here. What we have done is we have looked at 10 randomly selected yogurts. We have looked at 5 Greek yogurts and 5 Greek-style yogurts, and we have analyzed them in our laboratories. We have noticed that there is a couple of yogurts that have got a high protein content. So, for example, a sample C, which is this one, the Greek yogurt, has got the highest protein level. And a sample 1, which is this one, has also got a highest protein level from the Greek-style yogurts. So these 2 samples are relatively comparable. There's only a difference of around 2%, which I would say it's very much negligible. We have got another slide in here that we looked just for these 10 yogurts divided on a Greek and a Greek-style yogurt. From this perspective, on average, there was not much of a difference.
Okay, so this is really interesting for me because I buy Greek yogurt, and what I'm hearing is that regardless of whether it's Greek yogurt or Greek-style yogurt, you are going to get high levels of protein.
That is correct, because the Greek-style yogurt is processed differently. So the Greek-style yogurts will add some of the milk solids add to it, and we'll also have some of the binders added to it, such as gelatin, and the gelatin obviously is a protein, in order to make the yogurt like that. So by the addition of different ingredients, you can actually increase the protein concentration.
Okay, so the additional ingredients can also increase the protein concentration, so they're not all bad.
No, they're not all bad.
So Greek-style yogurt could have milk solids added for extra protein. But is the protein from the milk solids the same as the protein in Greek yogurt? Okay,
so it is not the same. So the protein that is found in the milk solids is usually found from the whole milk that has been evaporated to a dryness. An example for a milk solids would be a milk powder that you would commonly be able to find on the supermarket shelves. Now, the Greek yogurt concentrate, it has got a different type of a protein in it. That protein has been pre-digested during the process of fermentation, which means that it will deliver the protein level through the body once we eat it more sustainably. And by doing that, it can also increase the satiety and satiation much faster than what a Greek-style yogurt can do.
Which means that if I were to consume Greek yogurt versus Greek-style yogurt, I will feel fuller faster?
That's correct. So it will trigger the feeling of a fullness much faster, which we call the satiation. And the satiety is something where you don't have the urge to eat again, so you don't feeling hungry again.
So personally, I have tried to stay away from the flavored yogurts because of the sugar content.
Sure.
But when it comes to protein, does it matter? What's your findings?
Okay, so you can see that the flavored yogurts, D, E, 4, and 5, have got a relatively lower amounts of a protein. The reason for that is that when you add the other ingredients in, you're decreasing the levels of the protein that are found per sample size. Let's say you have got one of these tubs and there is no flavoring added in it. And this tub weighs 100 grams. If you add a sugar to it or if you add a fruit to it, you're increasing the weight of the sample because you have added things too, and effectively you're reducing the amount of protein to it. So that is probably one of the reasons why we are seeing that these type of flavored yogurts have got lower protein levels.
Okay, so I was very naive in thinking that whatever else that you add to the yogurt, it doesn't take up space. But it does, in fact, take up space.
Absolutely, it takes a space.
So, on average, the Greek yogurt samples contained 7.92 grams of protein per 100 grams. The Greek-style yogurt didn't fare too badly, averaging at 7.37 grams per 100 grams, despite costing, on average, 38.55% less. But the pros of eating yogurt isn't just protein. It's also probiotics that can boost gut health. Under Singapore's food regulations, yogurt is made with lactic acid bacteria, namely Lactobacillus bulgaricus, and one or more of the following bacteria such as Streptococcus thermophilus and Lactobacillus acidophilus. So, while Greek-style yogurt fared similarly to Greek yogurt when it comes to protein, how will it fare when it comes to probiotics? To find out, I sent the same 10 yogurt samples to my microbiologist friends over at Nanyang Technological University's Fresh Lab. These samples all promise live or live and active cultures on their labels. It's been 5 days, and the probiotic lab results are out. Was there any difference in the live cultures between the Greek yogurt and the Greek-style yogurt?
So we can see from the chart that the top 3 samples, which shows the highest live bacterial counts, are all Greek yogurt, whilst the rest vary from sample to sample. And significantly, we see that one of the Greek-style yogurt shows the lowest live bacterial count.
Can I conclude then that the Greek-style yogurt has got lower levels of live culture?
Yes, the trend shows so.
Why might that be the case?
In my view, it depends on the way Greek style manufacture the material, how much they put into the yogurt, we don't know.
I want to talk about actually the flavored yogurts.
Yeah.
So interestingly, one flavored Greek yogurt has come in with quite a high live culture count. Does flavoring the yogurt make any difference to the probiotics level?
This is an interesting question, but in general, I would say this is maybe coincidental.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So you think that it's likely that the flavoring might not have a huge impact on the probiotics. How much live bacteria does a yogurt have to have before it's considered a good probiotic?
Well, if we follow international standard defined by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, or WHO, World Health Organization, typically the bacterial count should be at least 1 million to 1 billion. And this yogurt sample can be considered probiotic.
Okay, so when I buy the yogurt from the supermarket, will I be able to tell how much live culture it contains?
Generally speaking, no, because the indication on the label is the bacterial count when it's packaged into the yogurt, not the day you purchase, because in between you have a storage, transportation, and a lot of conditions can affect the count of the bacteria. The storage condition usually is refrigerated, so we are unlikely to see the bacteria grow because it's too cold. If you have changes in temperature or oxygen level, that will also affect the bacterial growth. So all this would lead to the general decline in the bacterial count when you purchase the type of yogurt.
Okay, so that is a good reminder to me that whatever I see on the label, I got to manage my own expectations
Absolutely.
when I eventually eat the yogurt.
Yes.
According to international standards, all except 2 met the minimum bacteria count.
But bacterial count is only one part of the story. It doesn't mean that you have higher bacterial count, you will have a higher functionality of the yogurt. To prove that, we've done some more tests. Let me show you the result.
Okay.
The bacteria doesn't just need to be alive when entering the body, they need to survive the harsh conditions in our digestive system, including stomach acid and bile.
Okay, so what we have done here is to use a condition that mimic our gut environment and then see how these probiotic bacteria from the different samples survive the environment. So what you see here is a result, right? These 5 samples are those that fail the test. 3 of them are Greek-style yogurt. Surprisingly, the one sample from the Greek yogurt that scored the highest bacterial count failed the test.
It failed the test.
Yes.
Meaning that the yogurt that we just saw with the most amount of probiotics failed the test when it was in my gut.
That's right. That
Okay.
means they die in our
Okay.
gut.
So this is a plot twist for me because I would imagine that if it has the most amount of probiotics, it will be the most beneficial, but it doesn't mean that all of it will survive in my gut.
That's right. But the good news is that bacteria are living organisms. They do produce metabolites and substances that we call micronutrients. For example, vitamin, short-chain fatty acid, which are beneficial for our health regardless of how well or how worse the bacteria live in the gut environment.
Okay, so it's a matter of whether I can reap more benefits out of it.
That's
So
right.
thank goodness there will
Yes.
be no harm done.
No harm.
On average, our Greek yogurt samples saw a survival rate of 63.58% under simulated gut conditions. On the other hand, the Greek-style yogurt saw a survival rate of 51.98%. But yogurt is no longer just something we eat out of a tub. It's also being sold as a dessert in frozen form. So what I want to know is, when Greek or Greek-style yogurt becomes froyo, is it still a healthier choice?
I really don't know why the froyo hype suddenly came back.
Today, yogurt is also drawing crowds in its frozen form, froyo. It may look like ice cream, but froyo is typically made with yogurt or milk rather than cream. Since 2017, more than 49 froyo shops have opened across Singapore. Yochi is one of the first specialized frozen yogurt stores that uses Greek-style yogurt. I'm headed there with dietitian Wei Lin to find out if it is as healthy as the regular Greek-style yogurt.
So this product is Greek-style yogurt that is frozen and intended for home consumption. So it will last in your fridge or freezer.
Is there a reason why you decided to do a Greek-style frozen yogurt instead of Greek frozen yogurt?
I think for us, Greek style represents a format that Australians especially love. Also, Greek yogurt will not freeze well. It'll just turn into a block and not much more. On the other hand, a Greek style frozen yogurt is something that you can scoop and enjoy at home.
So frozen yogurts are very popular now. When you freeze the yogurt, how does it impact the nutritional value?
So when we freeze the yogurt, the macros referring to like the carbs, the fat and the protein content will remain the same because there's no change that's done to it. The only biggest difference would be the amount of live cultures that's in there that will have survived the processing. Because when it's cooled down to lower temperatures, some of the cultures may not survive as well.
Would this be a healthier dessert than, say, ice cream?
The main difference would then be the base, right? Because for ice cream, it's made from cream, whereas for yogurt, it's made from milk. So cream has a fat percentage that range from 18% to over 40+%. And within that fat, 60 to 70% of that is saturated fat that's not good for the heart health. So for the base-wise, comparatively, the yogurt would be a better option because for milk, the fat percentage would range from 0% in skim milk to maybe 3 to 5% in whole milk.
So really moving away from frozen yogurt, let's talk about natural Greek yogurt. How much of it should I be consuming?
So that can be seen from different angles. So the first angle I like to talk about would be calcium. Right? Calcium is important for our bones and for our health. So the Greek yogurt would fit nicely into that. The other point of view would be in terms of calories, whether you're having it on top of a meal or are you replacing part of the meal with the yogurt or having it as a snack. depending on the toppings and what's the end product's calorie intake. The third component we look at would be the protein content. The protein content of regular yogurt and Greek style yogurt is quite different. So it kind of caters for different groups of people. So for those who are more physically active, or for people who are trying to bring down the weight or maintaining their muscle mass, they will benefit from having something that's lower in fat, lower in calories, but higher in protein. Whereas those who have some kidney conditions, they'll need to adjust their protein intake because part of the protein is being metabolized by the kidneys, which is why having a high protein diet would then add as a strain to the kidneys. Then the last angle to look at will be for the immunocompromised people. Right? It would be advisable to seek medical advice before they start to have yogurt because of the life cultures that's in there.
And what's the best way to enjoy a Greek yogurt?
If you're to have it sweet, you'll be to probably add in some fruits. Fruits are high in antioxidants, there's a bit of natural sugars that can help to balance the tanginess of the yogurt. And the thing that's very important in fruits is that it's a source of fiber. So fiber is the food that the life cultures need to grow in the stomach for it to benefit your gut health. Right, so fruits would be helpful. The other thing I might add in there would be nuts. Alright, so nuts are a source of healthy fats, vitamin E, and different minerals that the body needs. Heart foundations worldwide recommend people to have 1 handful of nuts a day because that can help to reduce your bad cholesterol, reduce your risk of coronary heart disease by up to 25%.
This episode was actually suggested by viewer Lim Kwang Yong, who wanted to know how to choose the best yogurt. Well, Kwang Yong, here's what I found out. Greek yogurt may be worth the splurge if you like a yogurt that is less processed, thicker, more strained with fewer ingredients. However, if you're buying mainly for the protein, then Greek-style yogurt may sometimes offer similar amounts for less. As for me, I'm inspired by Chef Anna's homemade Greek yogurt, so I'm going to try and make my own. And yes, the recipe is in the comments below, so feel free to try.